So as part of my deal with Burlstein Gray, I'll develop a show for you. Again, the tricky part there is I had never written an original thing in my life. I never wrote, the things I wrote in high school were all, like a Saturday Night Live. We did a Saturday Night Live assembly, and we would do bits that were Weekend Update and things. That wasn't my idea. I never created characters. Short stories I had, but not in this. Never. So what I've come to learn in this business is you don't know if someone can do that. They could be very good at staffing a show, and they might not just have the whatever it is that you need to create a show. So that was a bit nerve-wracking. While at Larry Sanders, I had an idea for an episode. And the episode was, because that season was about, a lot of that season was about Larry dating. And so I said, well, it'd be an interesting episode is if Larry is dating a supermodel. She comes to the show, they're going to go out to dinner right after the show. Larry gets called into some emergency meeting with Artie. Network, terrible, we need you to come in and meet with them. He says to this supermodel, I got to go into this meeting. He says to Janine Garofalo's character, who was this, the cast or the booking person, and he was kind of tough and, tattooed and angry. Keep her company. And to me, that was the episode. Her forced into a room with a supermodel and needing to be polite to her and trying to keep the facade up. And at some point, there's a meltdown of some sort. Words are exchanged, something happens, and then somehow it's repaired. And I thought that was a really interesting idea that what does beauty do? The effect of beautiful people on those around them and what it does to them. I just thought that was fascinating. That I read an article that at a modeling, I have a friend who worked at a modeling agency, and I noticed that all the women who worked as bookers at this modeling agency, I don't mean to sound mean, but they weren't attractive. They were some of them were overweight, some of them were and I wondered, what does it do to them? Lovely people, funny, interesting, probably more interesting but what's it like for those people to be in a business that is about nothing other than the perfect female physical form, and then to have to go home and look yourself in the mirror? And what does that do to your self-confidence and your take on the world? How does it make you bitter and all that? And so I thought I started to be interested in that. Then I read a story about this guy bought his daughter the Wilhelmina modeling agency. Here, I'm gonna buy you a little gift. Here's a business. Here's an existing major business. Run it. And I put those all together. I also became interested in that idea of older men who remarry and then have kids. So I put those elements together, and I went out and pitched the show at a modeling agency, and about a father and daughter in a really contentious relationship, and the father is married. The daughter's a classmate from high school who the daughter never liked, having a baby that she doesn't know about because they're estranged, blah, blah, blah. And there's my show. Went out, pitched it, sold it in the room. NBC, because I had this relationship with NBC. Warren Littlefield, and Jamie Tarsis was there. Bernie Brillstein, I remember, was in the pitch. And we love it, we want it. Great. Okay, great. Then there's that, now you got to do it moment. And while I was doing Frasier which now became 4 days a week. I think I was full-time until this point. Okay, I'm going to write this pilot on the side, and da-da-da. And I start writing it, and it's hard. It was hard. It was not quite coming together, but, I was wrestling it to the ground. I put in an enormous amount of time on it. And I had a couple of my daughter, I have 3 kids, 19, 17, 14. I think my 2 daughters had both been born at this point, I think. Certainly the oldest one had. And I remember she came into my office at home one day, or on a weekend, and go, Daddy, come, watch me swing. And I'm like, honey, I want to, but I got to work on this right now. Returning to the scene of the father who had neglected his daughter, growing up. But this was my moment, That's what I felt like. This is my chance. This is it. Okay. In my mind, if I blow this, I'll never get another chance. So I turn it in. They go, it's good. We like it. We kind of have some notes. They give me some notes. 20% needs to be fixed. And there was something gnawing at me. Something wasn't right. I'm like, this isn't right. This isn't right. This can't, it's not, they weren't excited. Something's wrong. And then I was pulling out my hair. Now, by the way, before that point, before I turned it into NBC, I skipped this step. There were a couple of days I'm like, this isn't working. This isn't working, honey. And if I had done it on spec, I would have quit. I would have absolutely stopped. It was so painful. Sitting up till 3 a.m, pulling my hair out, trying to get this done. But I owed a script. They bought it. I had to deliver. I had to keep going. Anyway, jump forward. It dawned on me one day that I cannot have a show about this strong female lead coming in to take over her father's modeling agency. What can she hope to change? She's got to sell out from the minute she walks in that door. Because what are you going to do? Say, I'm going to start promoting models who aren't so good looking. Or it doesn't make sense. It's not real. There's nothing to fight about. That's the job. You took the job, stop complaining, do the job. It didn't make sense. I'm like, this is a flawed premise. That was a painful realization. And then it hit me, make it a magazine, then she can change it. You can still have all the characters. It's still in a world of beauty and fashion and everything, but no, I want to write stories that are about this, and I want to do that, and suddenly the world opens up. And it meant throwing out about 80% of the script and starting over. And without telling anybody, I did. The big breakthrough for me was the last scene in that pilot where she told her father, who was confessed that he was scared about this new baby, because I was always so worried that it's unpleasant to watch adults complain, you were this to me, you were that to me. It's like, let's move past it. So the breakthrough for that scene was when she told her father, he said, I don't know if I can, do it. I don't know if I'm going to blow it. And basically she said, well, then don't be that guy. Basically everything that she felt, for herself, she said, be there for her, do this for her, don't let her, and when she tries to push you away, don't let her. It's not what she really wants. And, it's like that moment, like to me was the key, like of the series. Like it was there's something here that I like. So they liked it and off we went.